Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. President Donald Trump says all money left over from the $2,000 payment made to low and middle income USA citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries, which will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So what this means is that anything that's left over after paying the American people the $2,000, anything left over will go to the national debt. All right. So we're gonna see what's going on here. This is a big breaking news. This is a second update, I think. So we don't know when this $2,000 per person is going to receive this fund, but this is a very important update. And President Donald Trump is saying that the poor and the middle class will get paid, and whatever's left over to the national debt. So the rich people is not going to get the $2,000. But we're going to see what's going on with this one here. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support, guys. Thank you again for your Cash App coffee a day. I really appreciate that, guys. It really helps out. Again, drinking coffee in the morning. I got 3 jobs, so waking up early in the morning, first thing I do is get that coffee. Well, actually, I go to Dunkin' and get the coffee. For some reason, their coffee is amazing. I don't like, McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's food, but their coffee is great. All right, so guys, make sure you check out this video here. That I posted today. President Donald Trump threatened air traffic controllers, offers Patriot $10,000 bonus. So again, it seems like a lot of people didn't like what I said in this one here. Again, a lot of us have our own point of view. Again, a lot of people's gonna agree with me. Some people's not gonna agree with me. But again, for those of you that missed that video, the link will be in the comments box. Donald has threatened those federal workers that left. He told them to get back to work immediately. And, the way he said it, it's just, I'm like, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that because it is an emergency crisis going on within our country. And a lot of these people, they want to continue working, but they just needed to get income. I mean, they probably have family emergency. Maybe they have family with health issue. They need to, money to get them medicine and stuff like that. I mean, it just, you don't know what's going on with these people's lives. But the way he said it, he would have said it a lot better, put it like that. But the way he left that message, I was not down with it. All right, so Scott Bessent has given an update on the $2,000 stimulus checks President Donald Trump proposed paying out using the revenue raised from his tariffs. In an interview with ABC News on Sunday, the Treasury Secretary said he had not discussed the idea with the president, but that the tariff dividends, that's the one, it's like a stimulus check, could arrive in a lot of forms, including via the tax cuts already enacted through the One Big Beautiful Bill. It could be just the tax decreases that we are seeing on the president agenda. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. That's crazy. That is absolute crazy that we taxing tips, we taxing overtime, and taxing Social Security. It's just they want to tax everything. So Trump is trying to remove all that. Let the American people have their money. All right. So once again, deductibility of auto loans. Once again, Scott told host George. And so, those are substantial deduction that, are being financed in the tax bill. So why it matters? Well, there have been few formal announcements regarding whether and how the administration will distribute President Donald Trump's stimulus checks. Some remain skeptical given that the abandonment of the previously floated Doge dividend payments, concerns that the cost of this proposal would exceed actual tariff revenues, and that the fact that the fate of the duties themselves is currently being decided by the Supreme Court. So we don't know when this $2,000 is going to be released to the American people. But Donald Trump has left not one but two messages about this. So I do believe it's coming. We don't know when. All right, so President Donald Trump unveiled his idea for a tariff rebate in a series of Truth Social posts on Sunday, while defending the duties after major questions were raised regarding their legality during Wednesday's Supreme Court hearing. The president called critics of the policy fools and said that the U.S. was taking in trillions of dollars thanks to the tariffs, before stating that a $2,000 dividend will be paid to every American except high-income people. So only the poor and the middle class is going to get this money, but not the millionaires or the billionaires. They really don't need that $2,000. Again, to them, it's like $2. All right, so according to the Treasury Department's latest monthly statements, the U.S. has raised around $195 billion in customs duties in fiscal year 2025. The Yale Budget Lab estimates that tariffs could raise around $2.5 trillion over the next 10 years, while the Congressional Budget Office predicts these could raise $3.3 trillion in revenue for the 2025-2035 period. Man, 2035. Man. Billionaire investor John Arnold, co-author of Arnold Ventures, calculated that a $2,000 check for every American adult, including the roughly 5% who could qualify as high-income people, will cost $513 billion. Erica York, Vice President of Federal Tax Policy at the Tax Foundation, said that excluding those with incomes over $100,000 would mean 150 million adults still qualify for the rebate, putting the total cost at $300 billion. This compares to roughly $217 billion the Tax Foundation estimates current tariffs will raise in 2026. The math gets worse. Accounting for the full budgetary impact of tariffs, a dollar of tariff revenue offsets about 24 cents of income and payroll tax revenue, she wrote. Adjusting for that, tariffs have raised $90 billion of net revenues compared to Trump proposed $300 billion rebate. York added that the rebate scheme would increase the national debt. It says here, in July, Republican Senator Josh Hawley proposed giving Americans a $600 check using tariff revenues, and Trump himself said that the administration was thinking about a rebate. However, in August, Treasury Secretary Scott told CNBC that the administration was laser focused on paying down the national debt before considering any sort of dividend payment, any stimulus. So I think that we are going to bring down the deficit to GDP. We'll start paying down the debt, he said, and then at a point that can be used as an offset to the American people. So what people are saying, what President Donald Trump via Truth Social on Sunday said, people that are against tariffs are fools. Come on, Ronald Reagan, he was against tariff. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. The 401ks are highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt, $37 trillion. Record investment in the USA plants and factories going up all over the place. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. All right, so that's Donald. He said that yesterday. Scott on ABC News said, I haven't spoken to the president about this, but, you know, it could. The $2,000 dividend could come in lots of forms and lots of ways, George. So you know it. Excuse me. So you know it could be just the tax decreases that we are seeing on the president's agenda. You know, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, deductibility of auto loans. So, you know, those are substantial deductions that, you know, are being financed in a tax bill. So what happens next? Well, the Supreme Court is currently weighing the legality of President Donald Trump tariffs. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer told Fox Business that the ruling is likely to come before the end of the year. Oh, okay. Should the court rule against Trump's tariffs, the government could be forced to refund some of the import taxes. But Greer said that the administration has other mechanisms it could rely on to impose the duties. All right, so this is the latest breaking news updates here, guys. And at the same time, the president is putting out his message. All money left over from the $2,000 payment made to low and middle class income U.S. citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries will be used to substantially to pay down the national debt. So anything that's left over after paying the American people is going to go towards the national debt. All right, so this is the latest update. Once again, like I say, guys, we don't know when this $2,000 is going to hit people's pocket. I know a lot of people out there are wishing for this. We just, again, have to wait and see how all this plays out. But the latest update, whatever's left over, it goes to the $37 trillion debt. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out the videos I posted today. Like, subscribe, and share. Till next time later. Peace.